Jaga Local Access Cable Corporation GTV presents Chardon Hilltopper football. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Chardon Memorial Field as the Chardon Hilltoppers take on the Riverside Beavers in a PAC contest. I'm Craig Dees along with John Walsh, your number 16 there, buddy, you and I together, and it seems like every night we come here, it's raining, and of course with the new turf down here, it shouldn't be much of a factor tonight, but a little bit on the miserable side tonight.
Yeah, it's got that little air of coldness in the air and the wetness coming down. Though this new turf at Chardon, we're watching kids run plays and making cuts and stuff. It doesn't seem like there's any effect in slippage.
Riverside had their way with Chardon last year. Chardon maybe turning the corner a little bit, John. They got a little bit of a younger squad, but they really are hoping to be playing better football, and obviously you want to use that as a springboard as you wind this season down, but they got a pretty tough contest ahead of them tonight. Yeah,
they both are having rough seasons, actually. Riverside and Chardon are definitely down versus what they're used to having, but they're building on for next year and playing for pride for the seniors. You know, trying to go out in a good grand style. There's 3 left. This is the start of the finish of their high school career for many kids. So obviously you want to go out on a good note. I'm sure both squads are going to try to tonight.
Well, we got homecoming here tonight at Chardon, and as we talked about the weather, and straight from the Weather Channel, so you know the weather's not good when they send in somebody from the Weather Channel to help you out. But we're going to get onto the field. We got a special weather report coming your way from down on the field to let you know a little bit about what we're anticipating the rest of the way. So let's go down to the field, and here's Robert Duns.
All right, thanks very much, guys. I'm Robert Duns here on the field with a quick look at our current conditions and what we can expect during today's game. Now, it's been raining on and off all day here in Chardon today, and the 2 main stories we've been talking about here in northern Jaga County are the incredible rainfall we've seen this past week and the very cool temperatures. Now, right now on the field, we're looking at about a 43-degree air temperature, and which is cool enough in itself. But when you hit by one of those breezes, it definitely cools down a lot quicker. Winds tonight are coming out of a north-northeasterly direction, and the National Weather Service expecting those winds to die down as the game goes on. Now, what can you expect during tonight's game? Scattered showers yet again to continue, and as that air temperature continues to fall, wouldn't it be at all a surprise to see a few snowflakes in the mix? I'm Robert Duns here on the field. Let's get ready for Riverside and Chardon in just a few moments.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Introducing the 2009 Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. Tonight we welcome our CHS choirs and alumni. Alumni performing this evening are Lynette Smock-Hamovic, Jennifer Graham-Jareb, Kayla Webb, Alicia Teisel, Julie Penrod, Michelle Walker, Stephen Graw, Alex Chartrand, Zach Chartrand, Anne-Marie Wolf, and Sean Cunningham. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and join our alumni band and the rest of the Hilltopper Marching Band as we honor America with the playing of our country's national anthem. This evening, we would like to pay special recognition and thank all of our armed service members and veterans. When you hear your service theme song, please stand and be recognized. Here is Salute to America's Finest. Army. Navy. Coast Guard. Marines. Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise again for the playing of the Chardon High School alma mater. All right, Topper fans, show your Topper spirit and shout hey as we play the Hey song. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for our choirs and our alumni band this evening?
Chardon Hilltoppers have taken the field here tonight, and rain continues to fall. It should not be much of a factor, at least footing-wise. It may be a little bit more difficult to throw the football here tonight. The Chardon Hilltoppers have won the toss. They've elected to defer to the second half, so the Riverside Beavers, they want the football to get things rolling here in this ball game. And a lot of times, John, it works out in these teams at times have had trouble hanging on to the ball. This could be boiling down to the weather and that kind of night tonight again with who can handle the ball better.
Yeah, sometimes that football will get slick and it's going to be laying. Even though this field drains extremely well, doesn't really affect footing all that much, it still creates the wetness on the ball plus the precipitation, which is just a solid sheet. It's not super hard, but it's a constant continual rain that just keeps falling on this field. So this players are going to be wet tonight.
Well, going back deep for Riverside, a guy that we're going to be talking about a lot tonight, LT Smith. He goes back. He's a senior. He'll go back there with Anthony Bilal, who is only a sophomore. Those are the guys that'll go back deep for Riverside. Still waiting for the Hilltoppers to make their way out onto the field of play here. 3 more weeks to go, including this game tonight for the Toppers of the season, really winding down here and really hoping for some momentum to get themselves rolling and give themselves a springboard, hopefully, for next season as well. So here we go. We are ready to go. They come on out onto the field. And Tyler Hogan will be kicking off, the sophomore kicker. 5'2", 110. Yes, and tonight you can say 110 soaking wet.
So, actually, he's probably 115 soaking wet because this rain is just, I'm sure he is soaking. So those jerseys will hold on to a lot of that moisture.
So Bilal and Smith stand back at their, be about their 15-yard line.
You were talking about Hogan's size, though, but I've seen him earlier in the year make a game-saving tackle on a kickoff, so he's not afraid to get his nose in there.
So here we go, and we are underway. There's a squib kick, and that is going to be taken by one of the up men. He comes across the 40-yard line to the 41-yard line. That's where Riverside will take over. They've got a senior quarterback, Zach Kuzma, 5'8", 185 pounds on the season, 87 out of 156, just a titch over 1,000 yards on the season, 1,002, so not 100 yards, a little bit over 100 yards per ball game passing the football.
But that's an air show from Chardon standards, though.
Ben Maxwell is the deep back in the formation. You see Kuzma going from the shotgun. He's got Kevin Bernay to the near side, and they run LT Lawrence to the far side.
Chardon coming with that 3-man front again.
They run a little rollout with Kuzma. He throws. He's got a man wide open as Kevin Bernay, and he is knocked out of bounds inside the 45 to the 44-yard line. Coming up to make the play was Quinn Izar, excuse me, sophomore defensive back, makes the tackle. Big play on first down for the Beavers.
Yeah, there was just a little opening in that little zone there where he just had, the receiver just wide open with nobody on him. He was, had a man maybe 5 yards away. That was about the closest Chardon defender.
They hand the ball off to Ben Maxwell, and he busts across the 40 and down to the 35-yard line. He'll pick up 9 on that first down. Maxwell on the season, 114 carries for 491 yards. So at that, I'll call it an 8-yard gain. He's 1 yard shy of the 500-yard mark. 2 wide outs will come to the near side. It's a second down and 2. And again, they hand the ball off to Maxwell, and he did not get it. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. So a 3rd down and 2 coming up, John.
Yeah, that's about this This is where Chardon's got it. They've been a little porous. They were a little loose on their pass coverage, allowed that big gain through the air, and the running, they've come at them fairly strong. Now's the time they can just kind of knuckle under, though this could be 4-down territory for Riverside.
And we got all kinds of movement on both sides.
I think they're pointing at Chardon. Chardon's pointing the other way, but we'll have to see what the refs say on that one.
And it looks as though we may have
They're marching it Riverside's way, so there's an easy first down for Riverside.
Chardon came across, and then Riverside reacted after that, so a 5-yard pickup on the penalty, and that'll be a first down just outside the 30-yard line now. They run the big tight end, Nathan Perkle, to the slot on the far side.
Those are the little mistakes that have been hurting Chardon all year, and the key points, they just come up with a mental mistake, which is what basically an offside is.
Kuzma to throw. His pass is caught. That's Joe Moyer. And Moyer is inside the 25 to the 21, and we've got a flag on the play on the far side. So we'll wait to sort this thing out as well. Maybe a face mask on the far side.
Yeah, at least coverage was a little tighter that time. There was just a well-thrown pass stuck in there, but the defender was right on him.
And we got a personal foul, and it is a face mask against the Toppers, so that'll give Riverside a additional yardage on that, what looked to be about a 9-yard gain on that play.
So it's another first down for Riverside as their drive continues.
Kuzma showing a pretty good strong arm there. He has thrown 7 interceptions this year. He's also thrown 7 touchdown passes. They'll spot the football just outside the 10, about the 11-yard line, so it'll be a first down and 10.
Yeah, there's no 5-yard face mask in high school. They're all the 15-yard variety. That one was a half the distance, being on the 20 or so.
And they hand the ball off. Maxwell straight up the gut he goes, and he stays on his feet, and he lunges into the end zone for a touchdown. Ben Maxwell goes in from 11 yards out.
Yeah, and that was just keeping those legs chugging and drove it in the end zone. That's definitely not the way Chardon wanted to start out tonight, with their defense just pretty much being run over, a couple mistakes, compounding the errors, and just made a very easy drive for Riverside in the end zone to open up this game.
Dominic Tremaglio comes in to attempt the point after. He's a junior. So 6-0, 10-14 to go in the first quarter. So Riverside takes the opening drive and marches it right down the field. Snap was a little high, but the kick is good. And with 10-14 to go here in the first quarter, it is 7-0 Riverside. So now we'll see Chardon will get the ball for the first time and see if they can do something with it.
Well, they're going to have to, because I think their defense is a little shell-shocked right at the moment. And they kind of needs to keep them mentally off the field, so their offense has got to keep the ball.
And if you look at this Chardon team, John, one of the things that they've done a pretty good job of this year is not being penalized. They're only penalized 25 yards a game, 175 total. But on that drive alone, they had the 15-yarder plus the offsides that really cost them. So a little bit unusual from the Chardon side of things with the penalties already in this ball game.
That's what the stats say. That's it for, wow.
Stats don't lie, brother.
I must have been to the wrong games then, because I've seen a lot of penalties and
well, maybe it's you.
False starts and all. You think? Possibly so.
Chardon ready to receive this kickoff.
Yeah, the offense has got to keep the ball for pick up at least a couple first downs here to get some of this momentum.
Well, Chardon will take over about the 24-yard line on that kickoff.
Well,
Good coverage by
been a little loose.
Riverside.
Chardon got back on top of him, but I saw both sides pointing a little bit. So I think that ball might have just popped out, and one of the Chardon guys fell on top of it.
That was Nate Coy on the return. So they've got the football at the 24-yard line. Ian Danner, Bobby Troff, Anthony Bacchio, Chris Foglio, and Dominic Mandato up front. The tight end, Eric Pavlik, Anthony Papura, Nick Ruckle is the wideouts. We'll see Zach Berry and Brian Mosser in the backfield behind Dan Beliveau. 5'11", 165-pound junior quarterback. And there's a handoff right up the gut, but we've got a flag already on the offensive side of things. About a 3 or 4 yard gain if the play would hold.
Where holding would be, though.
And we've got...
Oh, chop block.
Yep. It's an illegal block against the Hilltoppers. Will move them back.
Wow, that's... You sure it was 25 yards a game? I still can't believe that. I've seen a lot of mistakes made by this team this year.
So they'll march that football all the way back to the 12 or 12.5 yard line. They got to get to the 34 for a first down. The other thing that has really cost the Hilltoppers this year is hanging on to the football. Going into today, they've fumbled the football 27 times, and they have lost it 16 of those 27.
Yeah, that I agree with.
There's a handoff. Good, strong run across the 22-yard line.
Yeah, I heard that little crack there when the impact from the ball carrier going into the defender.
Anthony Papura on the carry, 389 yards on the season for him.
That makes
4 touchdowns.
More reasonable second down now. It's second and maybe 12.
Good pickup there. Second down and 12.
That steam coming off the kid's mouth.
And again, it's Papura coming to the near side this time. Cuts back. Nice move across the 25, and he lunges to near the 30-yard line. So that'll bring up a very manageable third down and 5. Another good run by the senior running back, Anthony Papura. Actually, wing.
Yeah, Chardon could really, really use his first down. That penalty stuck him way back, but Papura and the offensive line opened up a little blocking holes for him as made it a reasonable reach now.
Zach Berry in the backfield as well. He is in the down position, and keeping it is Beliveau. He comes around the corner, and he looks like he is going to get the first down as he gets to the 35-yard line. That's a very good offensive series there, John, after that penalty to start this thing, to be able to come back.
And you got a face mask on top of it as Riverside hands back a few of the penalty yards to Chardon.
So from the 35, we'll take it out to the 40. So they'll put it at the 40-yard line. It's a first down and 10. Dan Beliveau on the season, 23 out of 58 through the air for 270 yards. He has rushed for 403 yards. First down and 10. And he's going to roll out. And he's got some room. He wings it. Ball is tipped up in the air, and
threw a little bullet on that one. So it went off the hands of Ruckel, I believe it was, out there. But that thing just bounced probably 20 yards beyond him there after it hit his hands. So he had a little bit of smoke on that throw.
So that'll bring up a second down and 10.
Oops,
and we've got a timeout.
Chardon.
Chardon's going to take a timeout. We'll take a break as well. 8:13 to go here in the first quarter. Riverside 7, Chardon nothing. We'll have more Chardon Hilltopper football in a moment. Well, the Hilltoppers have it second down and 10. First quarter, they trail it 7-0. Done a good job of overcoming some penalties early in this drive and see if they can continue things on. And they hand the ball off. That's Papura, and he's going to pick up 3 yards.
They're going to bring up a 3rd and 7. Yeah, they need to convert, I'd say, just to keep the ball away from Riverside. That first down they picked up definitely did help a whole bunch, though. There's no question about that. So maybe we got one of those shootout games coming.
Archie Kimbrough splits wide to the far side. Ryan Mosser is a wing on the near side. Beliveau to throw. Flags fly. He wings it out on the far side. And up to get it was Kimbrough through his hands, and he got drilled as he went up to get that, and looked like he was going to be very close to a first down had he been able to pull that in. Yeah, flags flew right away.
Joe Moyer on the bat. You talking possibly interference or what? Because I thought it was a good clean hit.
Yeah. No, it was. So that's false illegal procedure against the Hilltoppers, and that'll bring up a 4th down. 7:34 to go here in the first quarter. 4th down now, and 7 yards to go. Jacob Kirsch will come into punt. He's averaging 27.3 yards per kick in this season.
Could use him to up the average a little bit and maybe gain some field position back here. They get a little easier on the defenses go around.
LT Smith going back. He stands back at his 25-yard line. He's a guy that a lot of folks think he's heading to OU. Going to be a Bobcat. And there's a high, good spiral that will bend over. That'll be taken at the 29-yard line, and a nice open field tackle for the Hilltoppers. Nick Ruckel making the play on Anthony Bilal, who was back there as well. So we'll see if the Topper defense can get a stop here now. Good field position for the Riverside Beavers. 7:26 to go, first quarter.
Yeah, Ruckel was down there in plenty of time, but Lawrence put on a nice little move on him, but Ruckel stayed with him, was able to trip up his ankle there and pull him down and stop. Well, I guess in essence he got, what, a 2-3 yard return out of that,
much.
But not much at all. So now let's see if this defense has settled down a little bit.
So we've got a timeout for Riverside on the far side as they had a little bit of confusion. They sent in right at the end there. Joe Palmer came running in, and coaching staff decided they didn't want to do anything with that. Hey, tonight's Cablecast is funded by your cable subscriber franchise fees. I'd like to again extend thanks to all the GTV funding communities, including those not funding tonight's contest, for their year-round support. They are Burton Village, Chardon Township, the City of Chardon, Hamden Township, Middlefield Village, and Munson Township. Thanks again for supporting GTV, and thanks to all of our viewers for their support. We appreciate that. Great to be back again with John Walsh, our 16th season of Chardon Hilltopper football. We started back in 1994 when we got things rolling. We'll be back with you again next week. We will have Lake Catholic and NDCL, and the following week, a game that you and I just love to do, is that Cardinal-Berkshire rivalry game. It's always just a fun ball game. So we got 3 games in 3 weeks coming your way on GTV. First down and 10. They hand the ball off to Maxwell. A lot of room. He's to the 40. He's got some room to the 45. Maxwell gets knocked down inside Chardon territory at the 36-yard line.
Well, that whole left side just crumbled. You know, it does great blocking by the Riverside backs and ends out there. Some good downfield blocking too, but they gave him that whole corner and he just took it and moving the stakes again.
Quinn Izar on the tackle. First down and 10 to the 35-yard line. And again, they stay with a steady dose of Maxwell, and he falls forward for a gain of about 3 yards.
Yeah, that was strictly, he had the presence to go forward, because there was actually a Chardon defender. I didn't catch his number, but got a little bit of penetration, was able to get on the ankles, but the Riverside running back was just able to fall forward and keep his knees from touching in advance of him.
Give him a gain of 3. Second down and 7. They almost got Maxwell in the backfield, but he's able to break a tackle and get inside the 25 to the 24-yard line.
Another first down. Moving the stakes again. Yeah, they got to figure out fairly quick here a way to stop this Riverside offense. They're not really doing anything fancy. They're just sealing up the corners and giving them to them, and then occasionally breaking some decent yardage on the inside as well.
Looked like Ian Danner made the tackle on that last play. It's a first down and 10. Ball to 24. Maxwell right up the middle. He got tripped up at the line of scrimmage. The initial hit was made,
I believe,
by Zach Berry, and then he got cleaned up after that. Berry had him around the ankles and made him fall forward. Second down, and so we'll still call it 10. Looks like no gain on that play. Kuzma from the shotgun. He's got Maxwell in there with him.
Yeah, Chardon could use a couple more of those no gainers.
That's Palmer going in motion. Maxwell again with some room on the far side. Gets to the 20, cuts back 15, and he is dragged down just shy of the 10-yard line, and that'll be another first down. A gain of about 13 on that play there. So Chardon, a couple of good plays defensively, and they give up the first down.
Well, that's because they can't seal the corner. I mean, somehow they got to stretch that guy out, but he's able to cut him fairly tight. They got to make some sort of adjustment there. Something's not right on both sides, and Riverside just owns the corner, the outside play.
Maxwell again, he cuts it back toward the middle. He gets spun around and picks up about 2 yards on that play. I don't know if you saw that coming in on the far side of your screen, but LT Smith was getting himself tangled up with Paul Judd. They had a pretty good battle going, and Judd got the best of Smith that time and threw him down on the ground. Gain of about 1.5 yards on that play. So second down, we'll call it 8. Again, that's Palmer as a wing. Now he goes in motion.
So they got trips on the left side.
Kuzma to throw. Looking, nobody open. Now he fires it. He's got a man, and that is a touchdown. He catches Joe Palmer at about the 3, and Palmer backed into the end zone.
You can't give any quarterback at any level that much time. He just was sitting in that pocket, bouncing around. There was nobody that was getting penetration. Good blocking up front by Riverside, but Chardon's got to do something to offset that.
Well, the hard thing for the Chardon defensive backs is you can only cover guys for so long, too.
Oh, there's not, eventually someone's going to be open. That quarterback had way too much time on that one.
Dominic Tremaglio to attempt the point after out of the hold of Palmer.
Yeah, there's no way I would blame the secondary for that one. The quarterback just had no pressure whatsoever. Chardon's got to be able to create pressure. If it's by blitzing a linebacker or whatever it takes, they got to make some sort of adjustment.
So with 4:58 to go here in the opening quarters, 14-0, Riverside already out with a big lead. And obviously early on, and Chardon showed some signs of life offensively on that first drive. We'll see if they can add to that a little bit here and get themselves into the end zone and cut this lead in half.
Yeah, it's getting the point of they need a little more than a little display of just moving the chains some. They got to get some points out of this, or this game could get out of control fairly easy.
Riverside, nothing fancy either at this point.
No, that's what I said. They're throwing the ball well, running inside fairly well, and they just absolutely own the corners. You can't, you got to at least string them out. And they can beat you to the corner with speed or great moves or power or whatever. But this is like diagonal. They get outside the end and it's diagonal. They're downfield. It's just way, way too easy. There's got to be some sort of a defensive adjustment made on that.
Tremaglio to kick off. Judd, Coy, and Papura back deep. It's going to be Judd taking it at the 15. He's across the 20 with blockers. 25. Got some room to the 35. And he gets out to the 37-yard line. Did a nice job there of letting the blockers do some work ahead of him. Nice job by Paul Judd, the sophomore running back / DB. So he gets himself and Chardon some pretty good field position here as they'll have their second possession now with 4:50 to go here in the first quarter. 14-0 Riverside.
Yeah, now you got to capitalize on that too. You got decent field position, but if you don't get anything going out of it, it doesn't do you any good. So the offense has just got to stay mistake-free and just do what they can do and keep moving those chains.
First down and 10. Ball is at the 37.5-yard line. Rolling out is Beliveau, and he is grabbed and he is sacked and he fumbled the football, and it's going to be recovered. At least it initially looked like Chardon had it, but now it may be Riverside.
Wow.
For Beliveau, that's the 11th time he's put the ball on the ground this year for the Hilltoppers. And Riverside is going to recover it. So there's fumble number 28 and recovery number 17 by the opponents on the year, and that'll give Riverside a terrific bit of field position at the 22-yard line of Chardon, and they'll take over first down and 10. Boy, that defender had the blocker and the quarterback in his grasp. That was quite a play.
And it just spinning them around, and Beliveau with a wet ball and the spinning and stuff just wasn't able to control the ball any longer.
Bernay and Smith to the bottom of your screen. That's Perkle, the tight end, going in motion. They're going for the end zone.
He's
looking
open.
down. He's got a man. That is into the end zone for a touchdown. Joe Moyer goes in from 22 yards out. One play touchdown. And with 4:31 to go here in the first quarter, it is 20-0.
That was a well-thrown pass. The coverage on that wasn't that bad. It was fairly tight, but he got that extra step on the defender, and that ball was just thrown perfectly. There wasn't much you could do on that one. Wow, this is definitely
not a good start.
Not the way Chardon had it drawn up during the course of the week in their game plan on how they wanted the game to start.
Tremaglio in to attempt another point after. He's been a busy guy so far. And that one is up, and that one is into the bleachers, and it's good. So with 4:31 to go here in the first quarter, 21-0 Riverside. We'll come back. We'll have a kickoff for you next on GTV. Well, it's a familiar sight already here in the first quarter. Chardon about to get their third kickoff reception of the day. We've got Coy on the far side. We've got Paul Judd in the middle, and we've got Anthony Papura to the near side. That is the receiving team for the Chardon Hilltoppers, as once again we'll have Tremaglio teeing it up. And he hammers it toward Coy. He will take it at the 11. Coming back toward the near side, splits across the 25 to the 30. He's got some room to the 35. Across midfield, and he is going to be run out of bounds by the kicker, and we've got a flag. A late hit. The kicker bumped Coy out of bounds, and then he got knocked down to the deck by another defender. So a terrific return
and
for Coy, and add another 15 to that.
Yeah, that's definitely a shot in the arm for Chardon. It's something they needed, because this game just starting to get out of control a little bit, and they got to make something happen. They got to make it happen fairly soon, and that definitely is a jump starter and making positive things happen for Chardon.
So Nate Coy with a very, very nice return there, and tack on another 15. So now Chardon has the football at the 29-yard line of Riverside. We'll see if they can get something going here as they'll split Archie Kimbrough out way wide to the far side. Brian Mosser is in the backfield now. Papur is a wing on the far side. Beliveau hands the ball off, and that's John Connick. Connick gets his 8th carry of the year, but that may not count as we've got a flag right away at the line of scrimmage.
Actually, Beliveau kept that ball.
Oh, sorry.
He got faked out.
It's not the first time in all these years I've gotten faked out.
They pulled on Belivau's face mask, I believe.
So that'll be 15 yards.
Yeah, he didn't. Beliveau probably got back to the line of scrimmage there, but it was a positive play because of the penalty, grabbing hold of the face mask there. So good things are starting to happen for Chardon here, I guess.
Get it into the inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line.
Back-to-back personal fouls are good at a yardage. It probably doesn't feel good when your face mask is yanked or you're hit out of bounds, but nonetheless, it is 30 yards for Chardon.
Beliveau fumbles the snap and just lays down on it, and that's across the back to the 21-yard line. Did the right thing there just by smothering it. Only lost a couple of yards on that play. Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, like a turnover. They've already had one of those. We don't need another one at this point in the game.
Steve Douglas checked into the ball game. You'll see him, number 88. He's another sophomore. When you look at this roster and you look at the majority of the guys, a lot of juniors, a lot of sophomores, just a couple of seniors sprinkled in there. So,
yeah, I've had a lot of injuries to seniors this year.
They hand the ball to Papura coming around the corner. He gets inside the 15, pushes the pile forward to near the 10-yard line. He'll be shy of the first down by a yard or so. What a great gain there for the Chardon Hilltoppers.
About a yard is all it is.
Anthony Papura, as we said, 389 yards coming into today.
Well, he's a strong runner.
Yep.
That's his strength, which is kind of why he plays a fullback position. I think that's what fullbacks are all about, isn't it?
Third down and a short 3 to go. They run him in motion again. They hand it to Papura. He cuts back, and he is inside the 5 to the 4, and that will be a first down. So they're that little jet sweep that they like to run from that wing position. And they run Papura around that left side. And they put it inside the 5-yard line. So both teams really, John, if you look at it, pretty much running at will right now. Chardon has been their own worst enemy at times early in this ball game.
Yeah.
Clock continues to run, or it will be.
Well, in this drive, they've got some help from Riverside with those, the face mask and the late hit out of bounds.
I don't know why the clock had stopped, but Papura in motion again, and now we've got flags, and linesman threw a flag.
Yeah, I think somebody got a little jump early.
Yep.
Procedure Chardon.
Yep. So that'll move them back 5 yards. From where we're sitting, it looks like the ball was at the 5, so we'll see when they spot it back. A little tough on the depth perception that end of the stadium for us. It looks to be about the 9-yard line. So first down and goal from the 9. They wind the clock up. 2:49 and counting, first quarter.
But maybe it is me, you know, but does this seem like a team that averages 25 yards in penalties only? I mean, from what you've seen from Chardon.
Well, both sides are getting flagged like there's no tomorrow.
Well, I mean, they're justified. It's not like the referees are flag happy.
Papura around the corner, and he did not get into the end zone, but he is knocked out of bounds. It looks to be about the 3-yard line. So that'll bring up a...
Yeah, that's about where the referee's spotting it. It's nose of the ball touching the 3.
So 2nd down and goal from the 3.
Yeah, they got to get this in. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Field goal won't even be good at this point. They got to get to 7.
Zach Berry in the backfield behind Beliveau, and again it's Papura. Why not? They give him to him. He tries to cut back and muscles his way to maybe the 2-yard line. Well, steady diet of Anthony Papura here, the senior wing, 5'10", 195. Seems like he runs a lot bigger than that, though, doesn't it, John? He's very strong, dragging tacklers. Looks to be about the 2.5-yard line or so. 3rd down. That time they hand the ball off, and that's Zach Berry, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Zach Berry picks up his 3rd touchdown of the season.
Well, I'll tell you, if Chardon ever needed to cross that goal line, now is the time.
So they go right down the field. A couple of penalties helped him out, but after a great return by Nate Coy, now with 1:49 to go, we'll give him a 2-yard run for Zach Berry.
Now it's turned back over to the defense, and they got to make something happen here or stop things from happening, however that goes.
Tyler Hogan, the sophomore kicker, he is 15 out of 18 in extra points this season, and puts that one right up and right through. So with 1:49 to go, the Toppers are on the board now. Zach Berry, a 2-yard run after it was a pretty steady diet of Anthony Papura to get them down to the 2-yard line. They ran that same play, and that time they didn't hand the ball to Papura, but they gave it to Berry, and he went into the end zone. So Chardon got to be feeling a little bit better about themselves there now that they're on the board.
Yep. But like I said, it's back in the court of the defense, and one's going to have to perform here.
So 1:49 to go, and the Hilltoppers will give the football back to Riverside, and they have not been able to find an answer for their running attack behind Ben Maxwell.
Well, you better find one pretty soon.
Yep.
So hopefully the coaches up in the booth saw something, radio down, they were able to talk to some key players, make some adjustments, and seal up some of those holes that have been apparent tonight in the Chardon defense.
Tyler Hogan into kickoff. Again, going back deep, Anthony Bilal and L.T. Smith. His given name is Lawrence. They're standing back at their 10, and they stand right behind each other, and then that way it doesn't tip off to the kicking team which side they're going to be on until the ball is booted. So here's Hogan approaching the ball, and another squibber. They're keeping it away from Williams, picked up by one of the up men, and he comes across the 35 to near the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it's still pretty good field position there when you start out on, what, about the 38 or so, where they're going to spot it officially. About the 39. So Riverside again is going to start out with pretty decent field position here.
So 1st down and 10. Zach Kuzma threw a beautiful touchdown pass to Joe Moyer earlier. Actually, he's got 2 of them. One to Joe Palmer as well. So Kuzma from the shotgun hands the ball off. That is Maxwell. He breaks a tackle, bounces to the outside, and runs over a couple of tacklers into Chardon territory before he is dragged down at the 47-yard line of the Hilltoppers. Boy, that was a great effort there.
Not till a 14, 15-yard pickup, though.
Looked like they had him for a gain of a yard or so, but just ran through some tacklers. Obviously, that's the one thing also on a rainy night like that. The uniforms get kind of slick, too.
Oh, sure.
You're not doing a whole lot of arm tackling tonight. You really got to wrap these guys up. Kuzma from the shotgun pitches it to Maxwell. They'll try this side. 35. inside the 40.
Close
to the 37-yard line. Picked up about 9 on that first down. Boy, 2nd down and 1 all night. You'll be pretty successful.
Oh, very successful. Yeah, they still got to work on those corners a little bit. It's a field day. Any play, they haven't stopped Riverside on the outside yet tonight.
2nd down and a yard to go. Kuzma to Maxwell, right up the gut, 1st down, and then some down to the 31-yard line. Gain of about 7 on that play, and that'll give the Riverside Beavers another 1st down with 50 seconds to go here in the 1st quarter. 21-7, Riverside with the lead.
They're running a hurry up a little bit, too. Just got the chain set, starting the clock again, and Riverside's already lined up ready to run a play.
Another handoff to Maxwell. He's got to be loving it. Comes across the 27 to the 26-yard line. He'll pick up 5. It's kind of nice when your number's called that often, huh? 114 carries going into today.
Yeah, and he's on a pace here for a good 30, 35 in this game if he keeps up at this pace.
Down to 20 seconds to go. See if they decide to run another play. I don't know if they have to with the play clock the way it is. Maxwell actually in the huddle.
No, Riverside took another timeout. No, wait, he's changing and calling Chardon timeout.
Taking a timeout. So it looked like Riverside was very content just to run the clock out there, John, and Chardon decided to take a timeout anyway. So 21-7, and they feel a big play coming up here. It's going to be a 2nd down and about 6 yards to go. But again, they have not found an answer for this Ben Maxwell so far. And then you sprinkle in the fact that Zach Kuzma throws a pretty good football.
Yeah, he's had a couple of nice passes. They've been on the money, open receivers, and he's getting great blocking up front. So pretty much Riverside's having their way with Chardon tonight so far.
So 8 seconds to go in the 1st quarter. They've got the tight end Perkle on the right side. That's Joe Palmer as a wing. Kuzma turns around and says something to Ben Maxwell. Running Palmer, a little shuffle across, and rolling out is Kuzma. He wings it toward the far side. Pass is caught. That is Palmer. And he gets knocked out of bounds as we have come to the end of the 1st quarter. So Riverside is on the move. They lead at 21-7. We'll be back with 2nd quarter action from Memorial Field on GTV right after this. From the Chalet to GTV, we're coming to you on a rainy night in Chardon, and it's 21-7. Riverside with the football and the lead, and they're moving the football again as Zach Kuzma brings the troops out. He's got Maxwell behind him. This is formation. They call this formation the pistol, I guess.
We are at least dry, though we're definitely not
there's
warm.
And there's a end around to LT Smith. Now that time I was the only one in the park that didn't get fooled on that. I saw him take that end around and there was nobody near him. So LT Smith goes in from 14 yards out on the first play of the 2nd quarter. And it's 27-7 right now.
I think the closest Chardon guy to him too was maybe the nose tackle. That was about it.
I was going to say near the end of the 1st quarter that he had not been a factor so far. There's Tremaglio to attempt the point after, and he hammers it through. And with 11:52 to go, we're sitting here at 28-7. On the season coming in, you look at a guy like LT Smith, 28 receptions for 391 yards, 14 yards every time he catches the football. But rushing-wise, on plays just like that, that's his 5th rushing touchdown. He's caught 2 passes for a touchdown, and he's also had a return for a touchdown. So this guy does it in all different kinds of phases of the ball game.
The classic multi-purpose yarder.
Exactly, and they haven't had to use him that much tonight because they've been spreading the wealth and they've been
everything else
the football.
Is working.
Yep.
You know, I mean, why go to your go-to guy when there's no need to? So
11:52 to go. It is homecoming night here, just a miserable night, and you got to give a lot. I'm sure with some of the shots that you're seeing tonight, there's a good amount of folks that are here tonight. A lot of railbirds sitting that don't want to get their tuchuses all wet by sitting down on these bleachers. A lot of umbrellas.
Yeah, there's a lot of holes in the bleachers.
But there's a lot of folks here tonight, and it's cold. The temperature around game time was sitting right either side of 40 degrees, and it's just a miserable night. But, boy, just good football fans on both sides tonight. There's a squibber. Drop picked up at the 30 to the 35, and a good return there to near the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it seems like
that
neither
was John
team,
Connick on the return.
Neither team wants a return tonight, so they're both doing the squib kicks.
Well, I mean, I think you're showing a lot of respect on both sides when you're willing on a squibber like that to give the other team the football at their 40.
And
you're thinking that's a good thing. That's your upside when you're squibbing it like that.
You're also kicking it to people that don't handle it quite as much, and the ball's wet, and it's going to be rolling towards them. So it might be a turnover strategy as well. Just haven't seen it work yet tonight.
Beliveau rolls out, slips a tackler, and he's going to keep it. He's to the 45, got a block, and he gets spun around right at midfield. He'll pick up about 9 on that first down, and he got whacked as he was trying to spin away from a tackler.
Yeah, Connick helped him out there, though. Probably gave him the last 3 or 4 yards there, where he'd have been taking a whack a lot earlier. Beliveau still down the field, or?
Yeah, he's down on one knee, down on the far side.
It must be the Riverside trainer talking to him.
Yeah, they got him back up on his feet, and he might be a little shaken up there. We'll see if they're going to bring him off the field here.
I think they almost have to at this point.
So they'll bring him out.
Yeah, he looks a little wobbly.
Yeah, well, he got spun around. That did not look like that. It wasn't. Thankfully, it wasn't a direct hit. It didn't look like. Looked like he was kind of a glancing blow, but it shook him up enough. So he will come off, and that'll bring Nick Ruckel in. Looks like, I think that's Nick going to run the show right now.
Is that 12 or there's no 17? Must be 12. Yeah, I think it must be Ruckel.
So they get,
yeah, it is.
They get Beliveau off the field. He picked up 9 on that play and did a really good job of getting away from a defender. And I know it was number 51. Oh, there it is. It's Chris Bielko. not the most user-friendly rosters that we have from the Riverside Beavers.
Riverside,
so.
They do it by class and then alphabetically.
Which doesn't
help. So you
help.
got to hunt for a number. Could be on the back page with the sophomores. Could be on the front with the seniors and juniors.
That's John Connick, and he's got the first down into Riverside territory, down to the 46-yard line. So if it sounds like I'm hunting and pecking for some of these defensive players on the other side of things, I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's just been...
If it smells like a hunt pack, it is a hunt pack.
I've been doing this for 20-some years now, and it bewilders me that when people come to the ball game and they go, I wonder who number 12 is, put it in an order so you can find it easy. I'm not the only one. They run a little sweep coming to the near side. That's Mosser. And with a flag back at the 47-yard line, he picks up a gain of about 2 or 3.
Well, how old does he look? You know, and you can say, well, he's a junior, so they can hone in there. Or they could also ask you, does he look like an M or a B or what?
So we've got, looks like another
holding
this time against Chardon.
Yeah, it's 2 penalties on that one. First one they declined, the second one they took.
So they'll take it back and move it all the way back to the 43-yard line where the Hilltoppers will keep the football.
Yeah, but 10 yards further back, so we got 1st and 20 here.
They got to get to the 36-yard line for a first down. They've got Nick Ruckel still in the ball game at quarterback. The umpire came in. He was the one that threw the flag, and he was looking for it, and he got it back again.
Yeah, I think they're throwing so many of them they can't track. One guy's gathering them all up.
They hand the ball off. Again, that's Mosser. And he gets across the 45 to the 47-yard line. He'll pick up about 4 and bring up 3rd down and a bus ride.
Yeah, normally 1st and 10, 4-yard pickup's good, but 1st and 20, 4 yard doesn't help you that much.
Archie Kimbrough comes back into the game to run the play into Nick Ruckel. Nick Ruckel, 5'11", 160-pound sophomore. Now running the show here for Chardon as the quarterback Dan Beliveau was shaken up. I'm looking down. I don't see him anywhere.
Yeah, you think
Ruckel going to keep it. Ruckel, he's got some room to the 40. He could be gone. He's to the 20. One man to beat to the 5, and he gets dragged down at the 2-yard line. Boy, you talk about some speed from an interior lineman there.
That was an inside lineman that dragged him down from behind? Now, if you can only find his name on the roster.
I'm trying. I think it was 76, I think.
Let me help you here. See if I can come up with a 76.
76 or a 78, I don't know. But boy, oh boy, he showed some speed there. What a great run by Ruckel. Now the Hilltoppers knocking on the door again. They've got the ball at the 4-yard line.
Well, it was a Riverside kid anyhow.
Handoff over the right side, and
is he still? I don't know. That was the longest developing run.
The linesmen on both sides are saying no, it's not a touchdown. They're spotting the football.
That was like a 10-minute 4-yard or 3.5-yard or whatever it is run. That one went on forever.
Now they're saying he did not get in. He's just short of the goal line.
Oh yeah, it's like the nose is almost touching. If the ball could sneeze, it would sneeze on the goal line.
So Ruckel under center. Hands the ball off over the right side. It's Connick, and he's into the end zone for a touchdown. John Connick's first touchdown of the season. And with 8:54 to go here in the second quarter, Chardon unfortunately spotted Riverside a couple touchdown lead in this thing, and they've been trading touchdowns ever since.
Yeah, that's the bad thing right there. Chardon didn't score in their first couple possessions. Riverside is perfect on theirs. They put the ball in the end zone every time. And Chardon defense has to step up now.
Ruckel holds. The kick is up. It looked like it might have got tipped at the line of scrimmage, but able to put it through is Tyler Hogan, who's now 17 out of 20 on the season in extra points. And with 8:54 to go here in the first half, 28-14. We'll take a break. Kickoff coming your way next on GTV. Well, all right, Chardon has cut the lead to 28-14, and as John just said, Riverside has scored on all 4 of their possessions, so Chardon's defense can get a stop. Looks like Chardon's offense has figured it out.
They can get back in there, Chardon knows now how to score against Riverside. They just don't have a clue yet on how to stop them, and that's what they have to do, and they have to do that right now.
There's another squibber. And Riverside will take the football at their 41-yard line, so they'll have good field position here. Well, and again, I was looking down on the sideline to see Dan Beliveau, and I don't see him anywhere. He very well could be in with all those folks down there, but it was a good job by Nick Ruckel to run that offense and had that huge run that he was a couple yards shy of a touchdown. So first down and 10, they've got the ball at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, I don't see Beliveau either, and it's not like he's sitting on the bench. Bench is right in front of us, and yeah, that is strange.
So Kuzma from the shotgun. He's got Maxwell behind him. I think they call this the pistol formation, and they pitch it back. And he gets to the corner to the 45. He's got some blockers into Chardon territory before he is run out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Give him a gain of 11 on that play, and it should be a first down.
Yep, they're moving the stakes again. Oh, defense has got to dig in deep here.
Actually, that is Paul Krauser who is running the football now. That's number 37. So Krauser giving Ben Maxwell a break. Maxwell's rushed for plenty of yards here in the first half. First down and 10 now. As Kuzma hands the ball. Now it's a flea flicker. Back to Kuzma. Slips the tackle. Wings it down the far side. And that ball is going to be incomplete. Good job of defense. Archie Kimbrough was right there with L.T. Smith.
Yeah,
it almost looked like Smith may have interfered with Kimbrough on that, as Kimbrough had some really good position. Archie, the junior cornerback, did a nice job on that play against one of the better receivers in this area.
And he didn't fall for the trickery of the flea flicker either.
2nd down and 10.
Normally that's what they count. Once that guy gets the ball, gets close to the line of scrimmage before he turns around and flips it back, you count on the receiver. Again, that corner is just too open.
Krauser gets to the 41-yard line, so he'll pick up about 7 on that play. So between Maxwell and Krauser, they're just chewing up some serious yards against this Chardon defense. Chardon this season, defensively, they've given up 176 yards per game on the ground and 131 through the air. So opponents are putting up about 3 yards of offense against them. Again, it's Krauser right up the middle, breaks a tackle, is going to be close to the 1st down. It looks like he may have it. So Krauser got inside the 40 to the 37.5-yard line.
Waving it already.
Chardon in the first 7 games of the year has given up 83 first downs, so over 10 a ball game, actually over 11 a ball game. So 1st down and 10. That's some fresh guys in at wideout as well.
Some tall kids out there, too.
We got a timeout. Riverside's going to take a timeout. We'll break as well. 7:45 to go in the half. 28-14. Riverside on the drive. We'll be back with more in a moment. Riverside has it 1st down and 10 at the Chardon 38-yard line. 4 wides in the pattern. Paul Krauser in the backfield. They pitch it and they fumble it, and covering it up was Kevin Bernay all the way back at midfield. So they tried more trickery there, John, almost like a double reverse it looked like.
I'm not sure. It was like the guy he was pitching it to wasn't looking for it at all. So he must not heard the same thing in the huddle that the quarterback said.
Well, 2nd down now, and it's to be 20 or so. Pretty close to 20-21, so it's a golden opportunity now for this Chardon defense to tighten down and possibly get the ball back.
Yeah, they definitely need to now. They got a big break on that particular play.
Kuzma sends a man in motion. That's Bilal. That's Amir Bilal, and he goes back to throw. Now he's going to be flushed out of the pocket with plenty of room to the 45. Got a blocker to the 40. Spun around down to the 35-yard line. Got a big chunk of that back, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and
maybe
7.5 to go.
Yeah, he looked off to the left there and just saw this wide open expanse of space there, and then he got a little bit of help from his downfield guys throwing blocks for him as well.
And since you got the raincoat on, I'd like black coffee at halftime. So I'm sure you're going to get up, right?
Oh, I got to stretch a leg. If the knees unlock, we'll have to check on that one.
I need some help. 3rd down and 8. Swings it out, has a man. That's complete to the 30. And down he goes, shy of the 1st down.
Yeah, I'm guessing they'll probably go for it, though. Because they're down to maybe 2, within 2 of getting it.
Yep, it's going to be close.
Well, I guess it's closer to 3. 4th and 3. But they're inside, right about at the 30-yard line, so it's too long for a field goal, too short an area to punt, so I'm guessing that it's 4-down territory for Riverside.
That was Sean Wagner on the reception. 4th down and 3. Big play coming up for the Hilltopper defense. Kuzma takes the snap, goes back to throw. Looking, fires, pass, incomplete. Nice job of defense there by Steve Douglas. He got an arm around that, knocked it away, and the first stop of the night for the Hilltopper defense. They'll get the football back in good field position. 5:39 to go here in the half. They still have 1 timeout left, so plenty of time.
Yeah, very much so. And the truth of the matter is, if Chardon can push one in the end zone, they're right back in this ball game. For a while there, it was looking real bad.
Nice job there. Steve Douglas with a good play. And we still have Nick Ruckel at quarterback for the Hilltoppers. Runs a man in motion. And Ruckel's going to keep it. He's to the 35, to the 40, and he's upended at the 45. He'll pick up almost 15 yards on that play, and that's a 1st down. Smith was on the tackle. Boy, Ruckel did a good job there. There's a guy that, isn't the starting quarterback, but does a pretty good job of deceiving the defense with the ball handling as well.
I guess he gets his skills in the JV games then.
Yep.
you know, which is what it's all about. You play the JV games to get your time, to get the experience and all. So if you need it in the varsity game, you're ready.
They run the ball right up the gut. That is Zach Barry. And he gets across midfield by about the nose of the football. Good gain of 5.5 on that first down. And we're coming up on 5 minutes to go here in the first half, 28-14. Stick around at halftime. We'll have some great halftime festivities for you.
I think this is one of those Chardon wants to score, but I'm not sure they really want to score too quickly, because I don't think you want to give that ball back to Riverside.
2nd down and 5. They hand the ball once again, and that again is Barry, and he's got the first down as he gets it to the 43. I take exception when I hear that comment from people. Like, it's that easy to score that you can just, well, we'll just wait a few more plays. It's not that easy. You score, man.
You take it when you can. That's not at all what I'm saying.
But you hear that on you hear that on these pro games. Well, they should wait a little bit. Like, you're guaranteed that you're going to score.
I'm saying the best thing would be if they could score with like 20 seconds left.
Ruckel again. He's not sucking me in on those fakes there, because he put that right in the belly of Zach Barry and pulled it back out. And another strong gain on first down, John, almost 5.
You're a wily one. You only get full 5-6 times, and right away you're not going to put stove anymore.
Well, here's the thing. I do a lot of radio as well, and it's a little different animal, because here I can sit back and wait because people can see the game. I don't have to be as...
You can be on a personal 5-second delay on radio.
Exactly. Ruckel to throw. Look, and he's got a man wide open. That is Kimbrough, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown. Broke the plane before the ball came out when he hit the deck. And that is Archie Kimbrough's first touchdown reception of the year. Nick Ruckel's first touchdown pass of the year. And how about that with 3:42 to go? We've got ourselves a 28-20 ball game.
Yeah, this is a pretty impressive turnaround by Chardon here, because quite frankly, when it hit 21 zip, I thought they were going to be a very, very long night for them.
Kimbrough, the junior, gets himself a touchdown, and if Tyler Hogan can knock it through, we'll have a 1-possession ball game. Ruckel on the hold. Good job of scooping that one up, and that one just does get across the crossbar. And with 3:42 to go in the first half, it is 28-21. The Hilltoppers will be teeing it up, kicking it to Riverside right after this on GTV. Well, the Hilltoppers have climbed right back into this ball game. 3:42 to go here in the first half, and it is a 28-21 ball game, and that's a kick to the near side taken by Anthony Bilal at the 20-25, cuts back 30, slips a tackle, spun around, his helmet fell off, and fortunately his head wasn't still in it. And a big hit there, and the Hilltoppers really, you can feel the swinging momentum a little bit here, John, and we'll see if the defense can do it 2 drives in a row.
They really have to right here. They got to dig in. They got momentum going their way. Everything's working. They coming off a stop finally of this Riverside. They got to just build on that and just take it full advantage and get there and dig in and put everything they can on that and get another stop out of it.
Now they go empty backfield with Kuzma. They have brought Maximal in as a wing on the near side. Kuzma to throw. Zips it out, has his man. That's Smith. He's across midfield and into Hilltopper territory at the 47-yard line. That was a pretty wide open play right there. Looked like George Newcomb was on the tackle for Chardon. That'll be a first down. So they put the ball in the hands of L.T. Smith.
Yeah, that was just a quick slant to the wideout out there. They flooded the left side, kept him out there. Everybody had to drift over to the right side of the Chardon defense to defend there. That kind of took the bodies out of the little slant region.
Kuzma's pass was intended for Kevin Bernay. He fell down, and he was lucky that that ball didn't get picked off by the Hilltoppers. It fell harmlessly to make it a 2nd down and 10. 3:15 to go here in the first half.
Kuzma throws a pretty nice pass. He's got a strong arm.
So now they put Maxwell back in the backfield now. That's Joe Palmer in motion. They hand it to Maxwell. He bounces off a tackle 45, cuts back to the 40. The pile pushes him forward to the 37-yard line. He'll pick up 11 on that play, and that'll be a first down. Just some pretty good running right there by Ben Maxwell.
Mark it as a first. You give it to him already?
Yep.
Okay.
The thing about that run that was nice is he was kind of drifting with his blockers, didn't try to rush that run, kind of waited and picked his spots and was able to get himself 11 yards.
Exactly, found an open inside lane to cut back into.
First down and 10 at the 38-yard line, under 3 minutes to go in the half. Toppers down by a touchdown. They pitch it back to Maxwell with some room on the right side. 35, stood up but falls forward to the 30-yard line. He'll pick up 8 on that first down, and that'll bring up a second down and 2.
Yeah, this defense has got to dig in. They really, really need a hold right here. Can't allow Riverside to get in there because they fought their way back. The offense and the defense finally with their hold got themselves back into this ball game. You don't want to take out and go down 14 points going into the locker room at halftime.
Second down and 7. They pitch it back. Maxwell coming this way now. And he's got the corner to the 30. He gets stood up at the 25-yard line, but he'll pick up about 7 on that play, and that'll be another first down. So Maxwell left and Maxwell right seems to be working again pretty well for the Riverside Beavers here, as we are down to 2:13 to go here in the first half. They'll spot it actually at the 26-yard line. Maxwell's got to tie his shoe. He had a little trouble with that shoe earlier. Now he's ready to go.
Well, there's somebody down on the sideline now.
Down on the near sideline. Let's take a little break. When we come back, we'll resume with 2:13 to go. 28-21 Riverside. More to follow on GTV. Well, we are ready to resume action. Archie Kimbrough actually taken off the field in the stretcher. It appears as though that tackle on the near side on that last play made him a little loopy. So they're going to take him for further evaluation. So all the best to him. Hopefully he's doing well. And there's another run by Ben Maxwell, and Maxwell gets inside the 20 to about the 15 or 16-yard line.
First down.
It is another first down. So all the best to Archie. Hopefully he's at home watching this and was able to enjoy the rest of the weekend, the big homecoming weekend here. So we understand also that the quarterback for the Hilltoppers, Dan Beliveau, also with maybe a concussion as well. Rolling out is Kuzma. He throws. Pass is tipped and incomplete. That actually looked like it was headed towards Smith, but it was Perkle, the tight end, that might have even got a finger on that ball and deflected it away from L.T. Smith down there, and that'll bring up second down. There's 1:43 to go here in the first half, and Riverside is leading at 28-21. We actually had about a 10-minute actual stoppage in play there as they were able to attend to Archie. Second down and 10. They pitch it. It's Maxwell. He will try to get around the corner. Not this time. He's going to go down for a big loss back to the 21-yard line. Good job there by the Hilltopper defense.
Yeah, that's what they've been waiting for, to stop that outside play, and they stopped it dead that time. Actually lost, what, about 5 yards on that?
Like Anthony Bacchial had something to do with that play, among others. So third down, and looks to be about 16 or so. Kuzma has Maxwell back there with him. He will throw. Blitz is coming, and he goes down all the way back to the 28-yard line. They brought the house that time.
That's what you needed to do. Obvious pass play, and from the great time that he has had before, it was Eric Pavlik on that blitz from, well, actually he came from his defensive end position, so he wasn't a blitzer. But the blitzing just upset the blocking schemes there, and that's what they need to do. Is when you got the obvious pass thing, you can't have the quarterback, especially one that talented, sitting there in the pocket waiting for somebody to come open, because it's going to happen eventually.
Pavlik had 1 sack going into today. Riverside lets that play clock go all the way down, so with 26 seconds to go, it'll be a fourth down. And they're saying 24 yards to go. Chardon does have 1 timeout left, but I'll tell you what, they'll be very pleased if they can get the ball back and go into halftime down by a touchdown, knowing that they're going to get the ball back to start the second half too, John. So there goes, if they can get that second stop here, get the ball back, we could have ourselves a tie ball game early in that third quarter if that Chardon offense continues to be doing as well as they have so far.
Yeah, actually sitting in the locker room there, knowing you've had the last 2 scores of the game, you know, is what they got to be talking about, that it's turning around. We've stopped them the last couple times.
Well,
we've scored the last 2 scores. It's our ball game. You know, that's what you tell them at halftime.
Dominic Tremaglio looks like he is going to at least set up and make it look like he's going to attempt what would be a 45-yard field goal.
I can't believe that.
And now Chardon is going to take their timeout. So now both clubs out of timeouts right here. And that may have just been a way for Riverside to get Chardon to take that final timeout. We'll see if they still have intentions of kicking the football.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, you sit there looking for the fake, you know, and I can't believe he's going to kick a 45-yarder, especially with the cutting through the wind and all that. Air is pretty heavy.
Well, we've seen him on the extra points, and obviously it's not that far, but he's been hitting it over the bleachers near the scoreboard. So we have seen a pretty strong leg by Tremaglio. So we'll see if they indeed are going to go for it here and try to boot it away. 26 seconds to go. We invite you to stick around at halftime. We've got the Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. We'll have another weather update for you as well. So that's what is going to go on at halftime. But we still got a little bit of football left before that takes place, as Dominic Tremaglio out of the hold of Joe Palmer.
I guess they're serious about it. They're going to make an attempt at a 45.
And they botch the snap, and down he goes back at the 35. That was a low snap. Palmer couldn't come up with it, and the Chardon Hilltoppers were all over it, and they'll get the football back with 21 seconds to go, no timeouts, and the ball at the 35-yard line.
Just take a knee and consider yourself lucky at this point, I would say.
Well, I'll tell you what, the way Ruckel has been running the football, he's had a couple of big runs on some fakes. You may see him do a keeper here and see if he can get himself into some open territory. We'll see what goes on here, but he brings the guys out. Papur is a wing to the near side. They've got John Connick in the backfield. Run a man in motion. And they actually do keep it to Ruckel as he tries to get around the outside, and he bounces out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So he gave it a go there, 14 seconds to go. He's had a couple of big runs already today. They were going to the well again to see if maybe they could come up with one more piece of lightning.
Just get lucky and break one.
Yep. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 6. Gain of 4 on that play. So what an effort by Chardon here after being down 21-0 with 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Down 28-21 now.
No, yeah, they're back in this ball game with the momentum on their side.
Hand the ball. That's
like you
Papur.
said, they get the ball.
Papur to the midfield stripe, and he is lunging forward to the 39-yard line with 7 seconds to go. And they're telling them to get in there. They'll have to obviously stop the clock to move the chains, and they're going to spike it and maybe have an attempt for one play. Ruckel takes a snap, spikes it with 5 seconds to go.
Good execution there to get lined up and get everything together to be able to take that shot at one final play. I'm guessing it's going to be try to break the big run, though, because one, you get the backup quarterback. He hasn't even attempted to throw a pass yet, so. But then again, you know, Hail Mary's Hail Mary. You just put the ball there and pray. That's why it's called that, I suppose.
So Ruckel will go under center with 5 seconds to go. Unless there's a defensive penalty, should be the last play of the half as he rolls out, and he's going to tuck it under, and he gets stood up right at the 40-yard line, and down he goes, and we have played 1 half of football. Well, it started out not too good, but the Hilltoppers have stormed back. They find themselves only down by a touchdown as we go to halftime, and they will get the football back to start the third quarter. We'll take a break. When we return, we will have the Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band, and we'll also have a report down on the field about the weather tonight that has been playing quite a bit of a factor in it. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. The Hilltopper Marching Band is next. 28-21. You're listening and watching Hilltopper football on GTV.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Introducing the 2009 Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. The band is being led out to the field tonight by Senior Field Commander Crescent DeRosa and Assistant Field Commander Nora Robinson. Tonight, we are going to take you back in time. Up first, from the year 2007, here's the pop hit, How Far We've Come, by the group Matchbox 20. Next up, we feature our top Reds and alumni with captains Brianna Crawford and Sarah Salisbury. The year is now 1966. The U.S. had 500,000 troops in Vietnam. A new house was $14,200 and gas was 32 cents a gallon. It was also the year that James Brown started rocking the charts with I Got You, I Feel Good. representing our majors with captains Caitlin Hummel and Hannah Groff. Our percussion section and trumpets Dan Hildebrand, Eric Henry, and Nick Stevens. The year is now 1932. Unemployment is at 24%, and voters elected Franklin Delano Roosevelt over Herbert Hoover in hopes of better times. In 1932, a new house cost $6,500 and gas was 10 cents a gallon. It was also the year that Duke Ellington wrote, "It don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing."
Continues to be a headline in this GTV matchup between Chardon and Riverside High School. Now, the main story tonight has been the rain. It's been cold and consistently raining the entire first half. And during the first half, I had a chance to check out the National Weather Service radar. And what's essentially happening here are lake effect rain bands are setting up across the lower shores of Lake Erie and are affecting the higher elevations here in northern Joliet County. Temperature-wise, we're still cold, down to 36 degrees right now, and that will continue to fall as the game goes on. Can the Hilltoppers muster a little more offense, or is Riverside ready to roll? Second half coverage on GTV starts now.
And welcome back to Memorial Field. The Chardon Hilltoppers will get the football to start this third quarter. Hope you enjoyed that halftime with the Chardon Hilltopper marching band. The rain is starting to let up a little bit here. It's still a pretty miserable, cold night, and I think in this area we're expecting some snow at some point in the next couple of days, but we should be all right the rest of the way tonight. The Toppers did what they needed to do in that first half at the end, John.
They
got a couple of defensive stops, and now they put themselves in a position where if this offense continues to click, they'll be able to tie up this ball game.
Well, from what I've seen, I don't see any problem with them scoring a bit more on the Beavers. The whole question is on whether their defense can step up and hold them.
And, of course, they'll be playing in the second half. Dan Beliveau, we're being told, has a concussion, so he will not return. And they've already taken Archie Kimbrough to the hospital, as it appeared as though he actually got knocked out on that hit on the sideline. So there's a couple of offensive weapons that they will not have. That goes right in and through the hands of the return man for the Hilltoppers, Paul Judd.
Stopped him inside about the 18, 19.
But better than turning it over. They'll have it at the 19-yard line. So Nick Ruckel, who did a very fine job of coming on and continuing what Beliveau had started and getting this offense rolling, he comes in and he will run the show here in the second half.
Yeah, this offense has to move the ball now, because if not, Riverside will get it in pretty good field position, because they got Chardon pinned right now deep from that little mishandled kickoff.
They hand the ball to Papura, got a nice seal block to the 25 to the 30. Up the sideline, and he's shoved out of bounds at the 35-yard line. A nice gain of about 16 yards on that play, and it'll be a first down and 10. Give you a little Chardon alumni update. I do the Lake Erie College games on ESPN 970 out of Ashtabula. We do the Lake Erie games every week. 1 o'clock starts for those. So there's my shameless plug of the week. But Sam Marcotte, the fine kicker for Chardon, is the kicker on that Lake Erie team. And he has really done a fine job there. So there's a little Chardon alumni update. I get to see Sam every week. And Marty Mackar, who helps out with the kicking here, also helps out at Lake Erie as well, as Zach Berry got buried back after a loss of about 6 on the play. So you see, I made it seem like it was a Chardon update, but it was really a shameless promotion. Did you notice that?
Oh, no, yeah, I know your ploys, so it didn't surprise me at all. I just sat here thinking, there goes Craig tooting his own horn again.
Hey, if I can pick up an extra listener or two, I'll take it, right? That's been fun, though. That'll be a nice. That's going to be a nice option for kids in this area. Division II school with four-year education.
Close, and obviously they look at Chardon kids.
Oh, yeah.
They look at a lot of local talent.
2nd and 14. Ruckel going to keep it, and he gets across the 35, and he spins his way to the 37-yard line. Picked up about 6 on that play, so third down, a little bit more manageable. 8 yards to go on the play on the drive coming up. We are underway third quarter. Craig D's John Walsh, 16 seasons of Chardon Hilltopper football. Started in '94 when the Toppers won the state title, and of course we had that heartbreaking loss in the state finals in '98 that we covered, and we've had a ton of games in between. Papura goes in motion. He takes the handoff. Got a block, cuts back to the 40, and he's up to the 43.
A little short, though.
He'll be about 1.5 yards shy of the first down.
Needed to get up to the 45. So they're marking it over the 43 a little bit, 43.5 maybe.
And Ruckel's going to stay out there.
Well, they're going to go for wow.
Well, they've been running the football pretty well.
Okay, this is putting some confidence in your offense here, and the truth is they could really use the first down right here.
Papura in motion, why not? Hand it to him, and he cuts it back and gets the first down as he is up to the 47-yard line. They really haven't stopped that play for a loss or even no yards gained tonight. He's always gotten positive yards, so why not? And that was a gutsy call right there, especially this stage of the third quarter, and a first down, and they're rewarded.
Like you said, tonight that's almost like a quarterback sneak, where it's almost an automatic yard and a half. And that's what they needed on that play, and he got that plus a couple more.
Eric Myeroff is into the ballgame. He is split to the far side, and this time Ruckel keeps it. He got stood up right at the line of scrimmage and shoved backwards.
Yeah, if he got anything, he got maybe a half yard out of that. That was about it. Essentially no gain. I think they are going to mark it a little ahead, so give him a yard on that.
Ryan Mauser comes out of the ball game, and coming into the game is Steve Douglas. And he's the guy that's going to be split to the bottom of your screen. 3 in the backfield right now, and a second down and about 10. Right up the gut they go. And not much doing up there, about 2 yards on that play as they handed the ball to Zach Berry. Berry had himself a touchdown in the first half. Berry had himself a touchdown. And then we had John Connick with a 4-yard run, and then Nick Ruckle to Archie Kimbrough before Kimbrough got hurt. That accounted for all 3 of the Chardon scores in that first half. Keep in mind, Chardon was down 21-0 with 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, it looked like a disastrous evening, but they've turned that around and made a ball game of it, and now they got another big 3rd and long.
3rd down and 8 yards to go as Nick Ruckle hands the ball. Papura cuts it back, not much doing there. Picked up a couple of yards, but we'll have an opportunity now to pin the Riverside Beavers back deep in their own territory.
That's the importance of that, getting it out there where at least you can get field position back in your corner.
Talking to an old friend of mine at halftime, Kevin Mendato, Dominic's dad, and his mother Carol, we were talking at halftime, and I looked at Kevin, I said, did you think it was going to be 100-0 in the first quarter? And he said it wasn't looking too promising, but they really buckled down. Going back deep is Smith. Jacob Kirsch to punt. And that's a snap that goes right through his legs. He picks it up, and he is going to be squashed back at the 38-yard line. That was a skipping snap that came back his way and it went right between the wickets.
Yeah, so much for field position as they lost in that one. Riverside does get real good field position inside the Chardon 40 down to 38. Yeah, defense has got to dig in real hard here.
So it's a 1st down and 10. Zach Kuzma, looking at the stats in the first half, both squads rushed for about 160 or so yards. This guy, Ben Maxwell, had himself 139.
Which is a pretty darn good first half.
And I know what you're saying. You're saying, hey, how did they looked like they were running up and down. Well, they had several big losses at the end of that half that
they did
cut into that rushing total. But Maxwell, 139 yards in the first half, pretty solid there.
And the occasional pass hurt him too, as Riverside's probably knocking 70 yards in the air.
2nd and 9. Maxwell almost slipped a tackle, but he is brought down. Eric Pavlik did a good job of finishing him off. But a good job there of penetration by the defense of the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, Zach Berry was in there in the backfield. Came up from his outside linebacker position. Again, they did a good job sealing up that corner, and that was definitely a weakness in the first half.
Keep an eye on this guy, LT Smith. He's to the bottom of your screen. 3rd down and 8. They shuffle Palmer in motion as Kuzma goes to throw. They fire looking for Smith. He's got it at the 25 to the 20. He's to the 15 to the 10 to the 5. Touchdown. Well, hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. 37-yard touchdown as they look for LT Smith, the go-to guy, with 6:32 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Now it's 34-21.
Yeah, that was a herder. Now they're down again 2 scores. Which is offense isn't the quick play offense for the most part. It's more of a driving offense, and with the rain and all the bad conditions stuff, the more you have to handle the ball, the more bad things can happen to you.
Tell you what, you look at this Maxwell and you look at Kuzma. Boy, a couple of nice weapons, and of course you're talking about Smith as a guy on the other end of some of the passes from Kuzma. That kick by Tremalio is up and good. So with 6:32 to go here in the 3rd quarter, 35-21, but the Toppers will get the ball next on GTV.
Congratulations to the Chardon team.
Well, 35-21, the Toppers got them right where they want them. Getting down by 3 scores earlier, and we're able to cut it back. So
yeah, the offense has got to kick it back into gear here. Get it back to a 1-score game again. Fortunately, they ran into some bad luck with a bad snap and the punt and all, which things were looking a little bit better where they could at least make Riverside drive the length of the field, but they made it easy on them.
Tremaglio puts the foot to that one. It'll be taken by Coy. at the 9. He's to the 15, to the 20, got some room, 25-30, breaks the tackle, 35, and he'll go down at the 38-yard line. Into the arms of Joe Palmer he went, and a nice return again by Coy. That's his second terrific return of the night, and the Hilltoppers with great field position right in front of us at the Chalet GTV here in Memorial Field, huh?
Keeping us dry at least. Not helping with the cold, but keeping us dry. So that's half the battle, I guess. We're better off than the people sitting in the stands next to us.
Yes, we are. So Nick Ruckel under center. Runs Papura in motion. Hands the ball off, inside handoff. That's a good run there by Mauser.
Yeah, that
Ryan Mauser
definitely brings up a 2nd and short, which is always a desirable thing to be in.
pick up a nice gain of almost 8 on that play. Boy, Brian hit that hole pretty well. He's got 542 yards on the ground this season going into today, including 4 touchdowns. He's a senior, 5'10", 165. Not a lot of seniors on either side of the ball here. Papura is a wing on the far side. Eric Meyerhoff in as a wideout. They hand the ball over the right side. That's Connick, and he's got the first down as he gets to the 49-yard line of the Riverside Beavers. So Chardon picks up another first down.
Move those chains and continue to move them.
Boy, if nothing else, but no matter what happens here tonight, Dan Beliveau has done a nice job of this offense for the Chardon Hilltoppers, but now you've got a guy behind him, the sophomore Ruckel, who has proven already that he can run this offense pretty well. So, I mean, that bodes well for this squad. A little bit of depth at that position.
Yeah, which is always nice to have it.
First down and 10. Once again, they give it to Zach Barry, and he barrels his way inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. Looks like a gain of about 7 on that play. Clock is running, 5:11 to go, third quarter. Hilltoppers down 35-21. We've got football for you the next 2 weeks as well. NDCL and Lake Catholic. That'll be a good game coming up from.
That's a spirited one. Those schools really don't like each other. Don't like each other at all.
And then we go Berkshire Cardinals. You talk about 2 great rivalry games in back-to-back weeks.
That's a respectful one, though. The other one is more in the order of hatred almost.
Ruckel gets inside the 40, and it looks like he is going to be very, very close to a first down. Linesman on the far side where he's standing. Looks like he's got it. Referee going to look that way.
Nobody's signaled yet. They're still eyeballing it.
And that is a first down. Yep. So that's another first down for the Hilltoppers. They'll come to the line of scrimmage. The ball not spotted yet. 4:27, and they will wind the clock up.
The referee's spotting a little late here to try to keep the ball as dry as possible.
It's a handoff, bouncing to the outside goes Mauser.
Ran a long way to getting back to the line of scrimmage, really getting nothing out of it.
Actually lost a yard or so.
Yeah, they had that sealed up on the inside, and he kept bouncing the outside, but the Riverside defenders went out with him and strung it out, and were able to take him down, like you said, a 1-yard loss.
Zach Barry checks back in. John Connick went off the field, and coming in is Eric Meyerhoff. So a second down and 11, 3:45 and counting. Papura is a wing on the far side. Ruckel going to keep it, cuts back. It's inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Nice gain of about 6 on that one.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to run the pure option there. He took a look on the outside to see if anybody was defending his pitch man out there, and they were. So he wisely cut it up inside and got close to 5, say 4 yards out of that.
Steve Douglas brings the play in for the Hilltoppers as we are approaching 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's a 14-point ball game right now. Third down and about 6 yards to go for the Hilltoppers.
We have a nice drive going on currently.
And that's Papura, and he has got the first down to the 25-yard line. Needed 6, picked up 10, and that's another first down for Chardon.
Yeah, this is definitely a good-looking little drive here. They need to get score out of it, obviously, because they're down 2 touchdowns, but it's also allowing that Riverside offense to get cold on the sideline. That's definitely something that could help Chardon.
And we've got a timeout. The Toppers are going to take a timeout with 2:43 to go in the third quarter. We'll resume action right after this on GTV.
And here's some more good news.
First down and 10 for the Chardon Hilltoppers. They've got the ball at the Riverside 25-yard line, down by 2 scores. Papura on the handoff. Tries the corner, gets the corner, and he is ridden out of bounds. Looks like he picked up about 5 on that play.
Yeah, there was actually a guy that had him sealed there. I don't know how he got out of his grasp. Guy kind of reached his arms out there, and Papura's a pretty strong runner. You're not just going to grab his jersey and pull him down, as I'm sure that defender realizes at this moment.
A little bit shy of 5 yards on that carry, so about 5.5 to go on this second down.
Still a good carry. Anything in the 4+ range is excellent on the first down play.
Ruckel hands the ball off. That's Mauser. Goes inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. He'll pick up about 3 or so, bring up a 3rd down and 3.
Actually, that's 3rd down of 4, because I'm sure we're definitely in 4-down territory here. So Chardon's in a good position right now. They need to pick up 3 yards in 2 plays, and I think that's very doable for the way this offense is working tonight.
Well, they haven't been able to stop Anthony Papura yet. Hand the ball off.
Or Barry.
Over the right side, that is Zach Barry, and he pushes the pile forward to the 10-yard line. Boy, easy first down there as he picked up about 8.
I saw on the outside there. Well, I think it's your buddy you were talking to, Dominic Mendato, was kind of waving first down, knocked over Ruckel. In his enthusiasm for signaling the first down.
Well, we got enough guys out of the ball game with a.
Yeah, you don't need to hit your own.
So first down and goal. They've spotted it right at the 10-yard line, and Chardon's going to take another timeout. So Ruckel, not liking what he sees, takes a timeout with 1:39 to go. 35-21. We'll be back with more action right after this on GTV. Well, Chardon has the football. First down and 10. That's twice now they've called a timeout after picking up a first down. First down and goal from the 10-yard line. And they hand the ball to Papura. He cuts it back, and he will get down to the 5-yard line. He'll get half of what he needed.
Yeah, marking him about exactly on the 5. Again, good pickup on first down.
Thank you, Robert.
This is an excellent drive here. They needed it. They're just taking it to them. And again, just a methodical drive right down the field. No big plays out of it, but enough to just keep the chains moving.
Second down and goal from the 5. They stick it in the belly of Zach Barry, and he gets to the 1.5-yard line, it looks like. Our chief meteorologist, Robert Duns, has delivered the coffee, John. It's very nice.
Yes, we're a freshman meister as well.
Budget must be increased. We got a weather guy now and everything, you know. That's good. All right. 3rd down and goal from the 1.5-yard line. And again, they stick it in the belly of Barry, and the pile does not get him in. He's shy at about the 1.5-yard line.
Well,
so it's a 4th
obviously
down.
They're going for it. 3 at this point isn't really going to help you that much.
Well, that's twice they've gone to Barry, who has gotten into the end zone once today, 3 times on the season. And we have come to the end of the 3rd quarter. So the 4th quarter coming up, 35-21. Riverside leads Chardon, but the Hilltoppers looking for a score. And we'll see if they can do that next on GTV. Well, the Hilltoppers have the football, trailing by 2 touchdowns. It's a 4th down and goal from the 1. They have gone to Zach Berry twice now and gotten it inched a little bit closer each time, but they got one more shot at it here.
Well, I guess it would be kind of redundant to say this is a big play here.
And that time it is into the end zone for a score. They went right back to Zach again, and he gets in with 11:57 to go here in the fourth quarter. And once again, we've got ourselves a one-point ball or a one-score ball game. Boy, after all that scoring in the first half, John, we only had the one touchdown in the third quarter. And now with 11:57 to go here in the fourth quarter, Berry goes in for the second time, a 1-yard run.
Yeah, we still got a lot of football left, a whole quarter.
And a very important extra point. Tyler Hogan has eked the last two through the uprights. That time it's a little bit stronger effort, and that one is right there. So with 11:57 to go, it's 35-28. We'll be back. The Toppers will kick it back to Riverside right after this on GTV. Now the Chardon Hilltopper marching band whooping it up in the end zone, and they've had something to cheer about here as the Hilltoppers have cut it back to 35-28. Tyler Hogan to kick off. Again, the same two guys back deep for Riverside, and L.T. Smith and Anthony Bilal. And it's a short kick, and that's going to hit at the 20. Bilal picks it up at the 16. He's across the 20, and he gets tripped up. I think that was Coy. Yep, that's who it was. Nice job there by Nate Coy. He's done it returning the ball, and now he's doing it on the other side, on the defensive side of things on the special teams. And
now the whole defense has to pick up, though. It's their time. Right here is probably this is a crucial drive for that Chardon defense.
Ball is at the 22-yard line. They will split Kevin Bernay to the near side. Smith is a slot to the near side. They've got Kuzma in the shotgun with Ben Maxwell behind him. In the wing on the far side is Joe Palmer, who comes in a little bit in motion. Maxwell tries to go straight up the gut and picks up about 2 yards on that play. Brick wall ran into there. I actually spot it closer to a 3-yard gain now as they put it almost out to the 25-yard line. Kuzma looking over to the far sideline. Riverside still with all 3 timeouts.
Up here too. They're playing with the urgency that they're down 7 points.
Maxwell first down and then some, 35-40 on his feet and finally shoved out of bounds at midfield. What a big run there by Ben Maxwell. He's a guy that be closing in on a 200-yard game.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think that's got to put him in at least the 170-75 range.
So that'll be a first down and 10 now right at midfield. Clock is running with 11:12 to go in the ball game. Amir Bilal, that's him coming in motion to the near side. And now that's Palmer. Maxwell, left side, and is upended. Gets a couple of yards there. Coming up to make the play for the Hilltoppers was Quinn Izar. Gain of 3 or so on that first down play.
Yeah, they're definitely doing a better job this half in the adjustments they made on those corners. Because now it's a little more difficult. There's a guy there, like Berry was there to make the play. Maxwell just beat him a little bit, got an additional couple yards, but they're playing a much solider defense now. Maxwell
again, and he is driven into the turf. Nice play by George Newcomb, who bear hugged him and slammed him down at the big 45-yard line.
3rd and 5 coming up here, a big one. This Topper defense has got to dig in deep and put a hold on here.
So 3rd down, a legitimate 5 yards to go here. And Bernay to the near side, the slot again is that good go-to guy, L.T. Smith. Kuzma
in the backfield though.
Fakes it, rolls, fires, looking down the sideline, and that pass is incomplete. Good defense in the defensive backfield there by Chardon. That was Brian Mauser who shoved out the intended receiver, Kevin Bernay, and that'll be an incomplete pass. And Frank Mangano comes in to punt.
Yeah, it was an excellent defensive set that time by Mauser, because that pass was a very, very good pass thrown right on the sideline there where only his guy could have got to it. And the only thing Mauser could have done was give him a hit just as soon as he touched it.
He rocked him.
Break him, separate him from him.
Nate Coy goes back deep for the Hilltoppers. It's a good snap, and it's a shank.
Off the side of his foot.
And that
just
will take a bounce near the 30.
Near it.
And it won't even settle to the 32-yard line. So you're looking at about a 12-yard punt there, and that's a big break for the Hilltoppers, as they've got great field position with a shot at tying this ball game up with 9:36 to go. And definitely the momentum has swung onto their side.
Yeah, but they got to live that, though, now and drive that ball again. Just go right back to what they were doing on that last drive, which was just a very, very good drive.
Ruckel brings him up. And that's Mauser, and he is across the 40-yard line.
Good first down carry, got about close to 7. No, marking him back, maybe 6.
Yep, about the 39.5-yard line.
But that definitely makes your next couple plays a lot easier.
Well, this is my first time seeing the Hilltoppers this season. I am absolutely impressed with this offense. They're running the football very, very well. 2nd down and 7. That's Papura, first down across the 45 to the 47-yard line. Another big gain there.
Yeah, Papura is tough to bring down. I tell you, he's just a load, and once he gets moving there, he's good for an additional 3 yards after initial contact.
So that'll bring up a 1st down and 10 now at the 47-yard line. They split Steve Douglas out to the near side. They've got Zach Berry in the backfield. And that's Papura again. He is hit behind the line of scrimmage and is able to muscle his way back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up a 2nd down.
Might have even
and
got
10
a
yards
yard
to go.
on that.
Yep.
Yeah, he's stretched out just to keep it from being a loss.
It was 21-0 with 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. 21-7 after the first quarter. 28-21 at the half. 35-21 after 3 quarters, and now we're sitting at 35-28 with 8:12 to go in the ball game. 2nd down and 9. Handoff, Mauser gets to midfield. Might have got just barely into Riverside territory.
Yeah, going to bring up one of those 3rd and longs, though. 3rd and 7, say.
Well, the one thing we haven't seen much of here in the second half is Nick Ruckel calling his own number. He's called it maybe once or twice, so maybe a chance here to put the ball in his capable hands and see what he can come up with.
Well, they might not be calling his number quite as much, just from the fact of they're a little low in the quarterback department currently.
Ruckel had carried the ball 11 times for 99 yards coming in, so almost 10 yards a carry. He hasn't hurt that today at all. They hand the ball off. That's Mauser, and he just can't escape the tackle. That was Smith who came up to make the tackle for Riverside, and that'll bring up a 4th down and 5 yards to go.
I don't see a punter coming in, though.
See what Coach DePofi decides to do here.
I didn't see any change of personnel whatsoever. So I'm guessing Chardon's going to be going for it.
Well, you hear all the time with especially fans in the stands saying, well, you know, you got to go for it. What do you got to lose? You're, you know, not having the greatest of season win-wise, so why not? And he's maybe just thinking that right now. Let's just go. Let's try to go for the win here.
Well, this could be game time right here, you know.
Ruckel runs the option, cuts it back, and he's got the 1st down by a half a yard.
Yeah.
Nick Ruckel cut it back and it almost broke
knew
that.
What he needed, yeah. He got just exactly what he needed, not a whole bunch extra.
But the other side of it, too, from a Chardon standpoint, John, when you look at it, this Riverside offense, you've held them a couple of times, but it hasn't been a whole night of it. You give it back to them, you may never see it again. You know what I mean? So you got to, I think that was a gutsy call again there. Here's Ruckel on a 1st down and 10. Handing the ball off to Papur. He's got some room on the outside to the 35-30. He's to the 25 to the 20. Down the sideline to the 15 to the 10, and he's out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Huge run right there of 36 yards. Anthony Papura puts the Hilltoppers 5 yards or so away. Actually, they're going to spot him out of bounds at the 6, so 6 yards away from a potential tying touchdown.
Well, I tell you, there's no more decisions to be made on 4th down. Let's go for it all the way at this point.
6:18 to go in the ball game. Clock stopped because Anthony went out of bounds. Barry's in the backfield. And he takes the handoff, and he got a couple of yards up the middle. He'll go down to the 5, maybe the 4. Looks like they're going to only give him just inside the 5-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd down and goal. Well, you can't say enough about the intestinal fortitude of this ball club being down, and it did not look like it was going to be pretty.
Tying it.
Yep. I mean, talk about just hanging in there and gutting it out. They have done that. This will be something else. What a comeback this could be. There's Ruckel under center. And he kept it, and he got dropped for a big loss there, all the way back to the 7-yard line.
That was a big defensive play that time by Riverside. Puts a hurts at Chardon. Like I said, though, it is still 2 downs they're going to be running here. 3 points isn't going to help them a whole bunch. They need the touchdown.
Mauser comes back into the game. Eric Meyerhoff comes into the game as well as Connick goes off. 3rd down goal from the 7.
Yeah, we got a couple big plays coming up here. Or just do it in one. To end the suspense.
Rolling out is Ruckel. Looking, throwing. Pass is incomplete.
No.
Diving attempt by Anthony Papura. He had caught 5 passes on the season, including a touchdown pass.
Had that for a hair there, but wasn't able to pull it into his chest. So we're down to 4th down. Again, it's here comes the ball game. Because we're under 5 minutes now left in the game. Riverside, the way they're able to move the ball is going to eat up some of that time, and Chardon doesn't have the big play capabilities to really come up with a super one in one play. So they got to get in the end zone right now.
Timeout on the field, 35-28. We'll come back. We'll have an exciting 4th down play coming your way next on GTV. Well, this could be the ball game right here. 4:55 to go, 35-28. Chardon with the football, and it's a 4th and goal from the 6. See what they've cooked up on the sideline for this. Ruckel rolls, looking, still looking, throws it in the back of the end zone, and it is incomplete.
Oh, no, he caught it.
Incomplete.
He called it incomplete.
Yep, Pavlik actually cut in front of the intended receiver. Mauser may have actually knocked it away. I think it was
Mauser's ball.
Yep, I think Eric thought that was heading his way, and why wouldn't you? You're in the back of the end zone thinking it's to you. And
you're not looking who's behind you. You're looking at the ball.
Well,
the action in front of you.
That's the bad news. Good news is there's still 4:45 to go, and you do have Riverside pinned deep, but you cannot allow them to grind this thing out now.
No.
So that was the good news, the only good news out of that. But that was a play that was a pretty good-looking play there, but just 2 guys in the same area.
Yeah, you desperately need a 3-and-out, or ideally a turnover would be wonderful right now.
Riverside needs a timeout. They had guys running on and off the field, so they'll take a timeout. We'll break as well. 4:45 to go. We'll see if the defense can get it done here. 35-28. More to follow on GTV. Well, we'll see if that timeout will come back to haunt Riverside down the stretch there. The coaching staff was not happy. They had guys running all over the place.
Well, they still have 2 left, though.
And
so they're not like Chardon out of timeouts.
With the lead, that certainly helps things. Kuzma hands the ball off. Guess who? That is Ben Maxwell. And he picks up a couple yards to about the 9. So good job defensively by Chardon on that 1st down. 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, they definitely have to dig in deep right here. One, you can't allow the stakes to move. That just eats that clock up even worse. 2, it's again a game of field position because Chardon doesn't have that super big play capabilities.
Kuzma taking his time, using as much of that play clock as he can. Takes a snap. Maxwell again, straight up the gut and across the 10. Picks up another couple of yards. That'll bring up a 3rd down and long. Still plenty of time right now. 4 minutes and counting here in the ball game, and the Hilltoppers down by 7.
Well, this one you just got to keep them from getting that 6 yards or 5.5 or whatever it is. Because this isn't one where Riverside's going to go on 4th down. That would be suicidal. You don't do anything like that. So this is the play right now for the defense to really dig in and come. Someone's got to be a hero at the moment.
Kuzma has movement on the left side of the offensive line.
They're pointing over to the right on Chardon. So I don't know if there was, I couldn't see any. I definitely did see the left tackle move.
Yep.
And that's who the ref saw as well. Might have been the old magician trick of pointing the other direction.
That was Mike Thomason, the offensive lineman, who kind of lunged forward.
That definitely helps. That brings
huge.
up about 10. Yeah, that brings up a 3rd and 10, almost exactly now.
Zach Kuzma under center. Joel Moyer has single coverage on the near side. Kuzma throws, passes intended for Smith, and it's incomplete. Not only is it incomplete, it stops the clock on the interception, and Chardon will get the football back with more than 3 minutes to go.
Did exactly what they had to do. You handed them the game, and they took control right there. Now it's up to the offense to contribute their portion.
Nate Coy was not going to go back deep. They're going to send Mauser back. And he's going to be back at the 45-yard line and into the end zone to punt, and a big punt coming up for Frank Mangano. Mangano takes a snap. It's a good one. He gets off a high wobbly kick that's going to bounce at the 35 and going to be picked up by Mauser. He muffs it and goes down at the 43-yard line. So the Toppers with great field position here. Plenty of time left. 3:09 to go. No timeouts. But boy, oh boy, you said it, John. You put it in the hands of the defense. You asked them to come up with another stop, and they did.
And now it's a reverse situation. It's up to Riverside's defense to dig in and try to stop Chardon.
A terrific ball game this has turned out to be.
Yeah, that's plenty of time.
Awful night.
Even without the timeouts, 3:09 is a reasonable time for Chardon to go the 43 yards they need.
Nick Ruckel hands the ball off. Papura still keeps his feet churning, picks up almost 5 on that 1st down.
Can't be wasting a lot of time in the huddles, though.
Well, that has been a staple of this Chardon offense for all the years that I've been covering. And there's always a guy or two that you have that is just a bull in the backfield, just drags people along, and Anthony has certainly filled that role. We'll give him almost about 5 on that play, and that'll bring up a 2nd down.
Close to 20 seconds were dropped in that huddle, and the ball isn't even snapped yet.
Riverside coaches.
They got to be a little quicker coming on the ball.
2nd down and 5. And there's a busted play in the backfield, and Groh run down by one hand. Right around the collar, went down Ruckel. Wow, you talk about the strength on Paul Krauser. Grabbed him by the, looked like right by the collar, and dragged him down all the way back to the 48. Earlier, the Riverside coaches were jumping up and down because Chardon broke the huddle and brought a guy off the field and brought a guy on the field, which you're not supposed to be able to do. So 3rd down, and looks to be about 20.
Yeah, this is going to change their little plan here.
Actually,
a little
about
bit.
18.
They're going to have to throw the ball.
That was not good from the get-go. There was some confusion in the backfield on that last play. Ruckel rolls out, looking, heaving, has a man down the middle. That's Mauser, and he's got it inside the 20 to the 18-yard line, and that's a 1st down.
Big play, and going to come at a better time. You got to get these plays called off quicker, though.
Bryan had only caught 2 passes going into today.
And I'm sure none of them were as big as that one was.
So now with 1:34 to go, they spot the ball, they wind the clock, 1.5 minutes now.
They're good. Chardon's getting the play off quick, too.
Ball at the 18-yard line. Ruckel gonna keep it. Breaks a tackle, slips another one, and gets to the 16. He'll pick up about 3, maybe 2.5 or so on that play. They got to hurry now. 1:14 to go. Coming into the ball game is Steve Douglas.
Bringing the play in.
Well, this may be one of those situations where you need to call 2 plays at once, as they are coming up on an even 1 minute to go in the ball game. Ruckel takes the snap, rolls out, looking, firing into the end zone, and it's intercepted. There's the man, Smith, and he's going to bring it back out, and he takes a knee at the 5-yard line.
That was a mistake on his part, I think.
L.T. Smith picks up the interception. That's his 3rd of the season.
Yeah, he's left enough room for his quarterback to take a knee.
Well, if he'd have stayed in the end zone, his quarterback would have had it at the 20.
Yeah, that's...
Riverside's going to take a timeout with 45 seconds to go. Chardon cannot stop the clock, so now Riverside just has to take a knee or 2, and this ball game will be over. But what an effort tonight by the Hilltoppers, barring a miracle fumble here.
No question, because they were severely close to be out of this game.
And with the timeout, we'll take a break. We'll come back, and we'll see what happens right after this. Now Riverside has the football. Zach Kuzma only has to take a knee, and he will. He'll have to do that one more time. And this one will go in the books as a win for Riverside. But boy, you can't say enough about the Chardon Hilltoppers tonight, John. They could have very easily just hung it up in that first quarter on a cold, miserable night, down by 21.
It was ugly for a while there. Those 3 quick scores, and still 4 minutes left in the first quarter,
and put themselves in a position, quite frankly, to come back and tie the game and potentially gone on. But the Riverside Beavers and the Chardon Hilltoppers exchanging pleasantries down at the 5-yard line. The Hilltoppers gave them all they want, but they come up short. And you look at the injuries that they had tonight. They had a couple guys get knocked out of the game.
Yeah,
guys playing out of position.
Fine. Hopefully they're in good shape.
Well, the final is in, and the news is not good tonight. It's the Riverside Beavers 35, the Chardon Hilltoppers 28. We hope you enjoyed our presentation tonight of Chardon Hilltopper football here on GTV. For our executive producer, Dave Jevnikar, Jeff Graw, Chris Graw, Brian Foster. For Robert Dunn's giving us the weather forecast. For my partner, John Walsh, I'm Craig Dees. I see that my time is up. I thank you very much this evening for your time. Once again, the final from Memorial Field. It's the Riverside Beavers 35 and the Chardon Hilltoppers 28. We'll see you next week. It's NDCL and Lake Catholic. Until then, have a good evening.